It is now 6 p.m. here at Cairo local time. It's a very good evening to our viewers and welcome to the evening's English news bulletin here on Channel 2. I'm Angie Meher. Joining you with our bulletin, we begin with a look at the headlines. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi holds talks with Rwandan President Paul Kagame in Cairo. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati discusses with Iranian counterpart developments in nuclear file. Israeli occupation fire kills at least 22 people across Gaza. Welcome back. Now the details in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received on Tuesday President Paul Kagame at الاتحادية Presidential Palace. Meanwhile, President el-Sisi held talks with the Rwandan president where they asserted the importance of continuing joint work to strengthen bilateral cooperation in various fields. During the meeting, President el-Sisi expressed Egypt's keenness to support Rwanda in achieving its development vision for 2050. The meeting also tackled international and regional issues with mutual concern and the latest developments in the Great Lake, where President el-Sisi renewed Egypt's support to achieve security and stability in the region. The two leaders also discussed developments in the Horn of Africa region and ways to strengthen peace and security. Talks also focused on ways to enhance the integration of the Nile Basin countries, where the two leaders agreed to resume consultations to face common challenges. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi wrote on his official page on social media that he welcomed the United Nations high-level two-state conference as a historical opportunity to end decades of conflict. President el-Sisi asserted that the recognition of an independent Palestinian state is not a dream, but holding to a genuine right that Palestinians have long struggled to achieve. The head of state further affirmed the two-state solution was the only means to achieve peace, security, and stability in the region. The Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, has warned there can be no stability in the Middle East without a solution that meets the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people for an independent state. His remarks were made at a high-level international conference on the peaceful settlement of the Palestinian question and the implementation of the two-state solution held in New York. Madbouli asserted the two-state solution is not merely a political choice or a moral duty, but a security necessity for the Middle East. Prime Minister also emphasized the only way to achieve a secure and stable region is by ensuring the Palestinian people's rights to freedom, dignity, and independence. In his remarks, Madbouli affirmed Egypt's strongest rejection of any attempts to displace the Palestinian people and liquidate their cause, which amounts to the crime of ethnic cleansing. Prime Minister added, once the ceasefire is reached, Egypt will host a reconstruction conference for the Gaza Strip. On the sidelines of the high-level activities of the 80th United Nations General Assembly round, the Foreign Minister, Dr. Badr Abdelati, tackled with the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi the developments of the Iranian nuclear file, notably after the agreement reached between Tehran and the International Atomic Energy Agency in Cairo on September the 9th, the first agreement to resume cooperation between the two sides after the Israeli aggression on Iran. During the meeting, Abdelati also highlighted the importance of paving the way for postponing the mechanism of reimposing the United Nations sanctions and resuming negotiations between Iran and the United Nations in a way that would preserve the interests of all concerned parties, help in regaining trust, and pave the way to achieve regional security and stability. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Expatriates, Dr. Badr Abdulati, said on Tuesday that the vision of Egypt's candidate for the Director General of UNESCO, Dr. Khaled El-Anani, is based on advancing culture as a force for shaping the future and a bridge for peace and human understanding. Speaking during the ministerial meeting of the Ancient Civilizations Forum held on the sidelines of the high-level segment of the 80th session of the UN General Assembly in New York, Abdulati highlighted Egypt's nomination of Dr. El-Anani for the post. He also noted the growing support for the nomination has received from various countries and regional organizations, including the Arab League and the African Union. The Egyptian naval forces have arrived in Turkey to participate in the joint Egyptian-Turkish naval drill called Friendship Sea 2025, which will take place over several days in September, with units from both countries participating. The Friendship Sea 2025 will feature a series of lectures and activities designed to sharpen the skills of the participating forces, enhance their efficiency, and unify operational concepts. The drill is part of the Egyptian Armed Forces Joint Training Plan with friendly countries across different military specialities. The Israeli occupation military has pushed deeper towards the most populated areas of Gaza City on Tuesday. Local health authorities said Israeli occupation fire killed at least 22 people across the Gaza Strip, 18 of them in Gaza City. And the Ministry of Health said hospitals in the enclave would run out of fuel in the coming few days, endangering many lives. Israeli occupation forces detonated explosive-laden vehicles in the suburbs of Sabra and Tal al-Hawa as tanks made a big. And moving to the American president, Donald Trump will meet leaders and officials from several Muslim-majority countries on Tuesday and discuss the situation in Gaza. U.S. media reported that Washington wants Arab and Muslim countries to agree to send military forces to Gaza to enable Israel's withdrawal and secure funding for transition and rebuilding programs. Earlier, Trump proposed the U.S. takeover of Gaza and a permanent displacement of the Palestinians from there. It was labeled an ethnic cleansing proposal by rights experts, and the UN forcible displacement is illegal under international law. Russian aerial attacks on Ukraine, meanwhile, killed 2 people overnight, according to Ukrainian officials on Tuesday, whilst Russia's defense ministry also reported several Ukrainian drones had targeted the capital, Moscow. We have the details in this report.
Russian aerial attacks on Ukraine killed 2 people overnight, Ukrainian officials said on Tuesday, while Russia's defense ministry reported several Ukrainian drones had targeted the capital, Moscow. The attacks came as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky prepared to meet Donald Trump in New York. The U.S. president is expressing mounting frustration at Russia for not halting its invasion. Russia launched 3 missiles and 115 drones at Ukraine overnight, Kyiv's Air Force said, the latest in what are daily barrages. Most drones were intercepted by air defense, but officials said 1 civilian was killed in the southern Zaporizhzhia region and another in the coastal Odessa region. Kyiv has stepped up its own wave of retaliatory long-range drone strikes on Russia. Russia's defense ministry said it destroyed 69 Ukrainian drones over its territory with no damage reported. Over a dozen had targeted the capital, Moscow, Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said on social media.
Now moving to some business and economic news. During his visit to the United States, the Minister of Communication and Information Technology, Amr Talat, discussed with major American companies expanding their outsourcing investments in Egypt and cooperating in digital capacity building. Meetings touched on investment opportunities and future plans to expand IT services operations. Minister of Communications and IT inaugurated the headquarters of the IT Center in Egypt, as it provides various services from Egypt to clients in destinations around the world. Meetings addressed Egypt's competitive advantages and developing IT sector, as highlighting Egypt's digital strategy in light of Egypt's Sustainable Development Strategy 2030. And moving to global markets, where European shares surged as energy market spikes boosted by the services sector. Stock 600 index rose 0.3%. Spanish and British stocks also rose by 0.3%. French and German stocks rose 0.4% and 0.5% respectively. Meanwhile, Asian markets struggled Tuesday to track another record day on Wall Street, with traders now awaiting the release of U.S. inflation data that could dictate Federal Reserve policy in the coming weeks. And in Treasury markets, we take a look at gold prices that rose to their highest levels ever, boosted by increased expectations to resume American interest rates decreased amid slight surge in dollar prices. Gold prices in days dealing surged by 2%, reaching 3,753.25 points an ounce. Silver retreated 0.6% to $48.32 an ounce to reach its highest price in 14 years. Platinum dropped 0.3%, reaching $1,412.64. Now moving to the exciting world of sports, kicking off with the Egyptian Premier League 8th round, which resumes on Tuesday with 2 matches. As we speak, the Reds are defeating Haras Al Hudud 2-1 at the Cairo Military Academy Stadium in a match playing as we are on air. Meanwhile, Zamalek will clash with the Ghana at 8:30 Cairo local time at the Cairo International Stadium. And finally, Ousmane Dembele was named the world's best player of the season as he claimed the Ballon d'Or on a night of triumph for his Paris Saint-Germain club, where Barcelona's Aitana Bonmati, a serial trophy winner, claimed the women's award on Monday. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up our English News Bulletin here on Channel 2. You're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Thank you for watching.